Welcome to A Drink of Wisdom. Nathan Drinkard, I'm Jake Wise. Thanks for spending some of your time with us. As a reminder, we're on Anchor, we're on Apple Podcast, we're on Spotify. If you're looking for the show in the video format, you can find it up at the A Drink of Wisdom YouTube channel. Drink, great to have you along on this fantastic Friday.
Listen, I'm glad to be along on this fruitful Friday. You know what it is. I know you ready to get into it, so I ain't even gonna waste no time. Without further ado, it's another day, another dollar. We give the streets what they need. We see what they don't and say what they want. Set your plates, cause it's time to eat. But last but not least, let's talk some sports, baby. What we got today, Jay?
We're going straight to it, just like I like it. This is episode 18 of season 3. We'll talk Patriots, Falcons, Lakers, Bucks, and we're going to preview the weekend in college football.
But to start this off, you know what time it is. We got to talk about this new COVID protocol for Thanksgiving. The NFL is laying down. Yes, folks, the NFL has decided to do it again. To change the rules, move the goal line, look at it however you want to look at it, because they got to keep everybody safe. So with that said, Jay, how you feeling about this, man? How you feeling about this new change in the NFL?
I don't like it. It's subjective. It's arbitrary, which is seems to be most of these things. The justification is, I guess, with the uptick in travel during the Thanksgiving season. They're concerned about family members coming into town and bringing the COVID with them and spreading it all around everybody. So um, they've they've decreed that it's important for everybody to get tested now at some point. The unvaccinated players, they got to deal with the regular, but now, regardless of whatever, like the fully vaccinated are going to have to get tested. I think either Monday or Wednesday of the following week after Thanksgiving, just to make sure they're good. You also have, the most recent batch of tests that they did from the October 31st to November 13th. They had 81 positive tests. Then you look at pretty much from the first 2 months, September 5th through October 30th, they only had 97. Well, they had 97, and that's over a 2-month period, basically. Vice 81 players through 2 weeks. So I don't know what the percentage is of how big of an uptick that is, but it's something they're concerned about. I would like to know how many of those 81 players that tested positive are fully vaccinated. I'd like to know that. I noticed that that is not in the reporting that I've read. We do know the big, I think the big name that's had a positive test recently is Nick Chubb, Browns running back, who I think we're both somewhat reliant on our dwindling fantasy football hopes. So we have
That's a
that in
fact.
play. Yeah,
That's
he's
a
been
fact.
recently pulled off the COVID list. That's kind of good. But I mean, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, so just we have that example. We get kind of the narrative that seemingly gets shoved down people's throats is like this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Well, I'm not sure. Let's go down to New Orleans and look at the coaching staff who, they had an 100% vaccination rate, and yet like what, eight coaches had it. So these are the type of things that, if you're just reading this and taking it, as you see it, you might start to ask questions about, I don't know, the vaccine, because it would seem as if, the vaccination rates are really high. um, I don't know, for some of these teams, I don't know if they can get any higher. And if we were led to believe, which goes back to the whole uh, moving the goal line or goal post or whatever they're moving, that, I mean, there's got to be an end to this at some point. And if there's not going to be an end, well, we just have to. I think you have to let people at some point go about their lives the way they want to go about their lives. I think I'm real big on personal responsibility and making the best decisions as individuals and family units. I think if you're an elderly person, if you got an underlying condition, then I think it's probably in your best interest to get the vaccine and get the next vaccine and just everything that they got coming, because they got more coming. They got the assembly line. They got the boosters coming in next. They're coming in hot. But if you're, these athletes, generally speaking, uh, the healthiest among us in the prime of their lives, I think some of this is a little bit overdone. Not saying that there aren't occurrences, whether it be maybe Jason Tatum, who I think he has some difficulties with it. I'm not saying, everybody's going to be immune or everybody's not going to, have an easy time if they catch coronavirus. But to just subject an entire population and shut down the economy, shut down the schools, all these other things that we have done for the good of public health, but the detriment of the rest of society. I just think at this point, about 20 months into this thing, I mean, there's just certain things I wouldn't be dealing with. Like this whole idea that I don't know, I don't believe that, I don't think they can enforce this. But the thing where, well, we want all the family members and all the people coming in, however they're getting there. I imagine some people are flying in or whatever they're doing. If you come in to visit and stay with your family or whatever you're doing, well, you need to get tested, and they're going to have everybody, I guess, set up drive-through testing, and you need to get this testing done before you interact with the players and staff that's your family members. How about not? How about you go kick rocks, pound sand? We could throw some more colorful language in, but we try to keep it somewhat family friendly. So I won't. But I just, some of this stuff is just so over the top. It's so foolish. And I'm almost numb to it. I mean, I'm not up in here acting crazy today. I'm not yelling. I'm not pulling a Stephen A. Smith and just being hyperbolic about everything. I'm just tired. Like the term, like I got COVID fatigue. I've had it for a while now, but I'm just so over it, man. And I know people are still dying. I get all that, but we can't. The thing that, I mean, there's nothing revolutionary that they're coming out with. There's nothing next level to like, man, we got something new. Hey, I know we did social distancing, we did masks, we did vaccines, we done all these things. Oh, we got another spike. Well, we're just going to double and triple down on everything we've been doing. And I mean, that hasn't stopped anything. That hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped the virus. And if it has slowed it down, well, I mean, if I go 35 miles per hour down the road, vice 65 miles per hour, I'm still going to get where I'm going. It won't be as fast. It's the same thing with the virus. It's going to do what it does. I mean, that's the whole thing about fighting something that's invisible. I mean, good luck. So I'm just over it. I think some of this stuff is draconian. I think now they got to have video cameras to make sure everybody's wearing masks, even if they're outside. That's not rooted in science. I don't believe that's rooted in science at all. So I'm over it. I'm tired of it. And I think some of this stuff, as it results to like family members and then wanting to regulate those type of interactions, I'd look at if I'm a player in the NFL, like I would just roll my eyes and do what I want.
So, I got one basic point, and that point, I kind of harped on in the past is, what's the benefit? Like, I would love to know what's the benefit for me as an NFL player now to go out and get vaccinated. Because if I go get vaccinated 2 months later, you change the rules and just lump me in. Then you try to ease up the rules. And hey, if you're vaccinated, all you got to do is this. If you're unvaccinated, you got to do all this. So then I say, okay, cool. Let me go and get, this vaccination. Now the booster shots rolling around. I got to think at some point they're going to incentivize booster shots. So if you get the booster shot, you don't have to do all these things. If you don't get the booster shot, then you got to do these things. The problem with that at this point, if I'm an NFL player, yeah, that sounds good for a 2-month window, but then something else is gonna happen, and then you're gonna come right back in here and say everybody gotta wear masks, everybody gotta get tested daily, everybody gotta do this, that, and the third. When does it stop, man? I just feel like, listen, in 5 yards you can score a touchdown. No, let's make that 10. Oh, wait a minute, 15. Hold up, 20. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why we keep changing this? Like, is the protocol gonna stay the same for at least a year? Can we get the protocol to stay the same? I got it. This is a fluent situation. It's always changing. I got that, but this is downright ridiculous. You want to give my family a cavity search damn near before I can go and tell them Happy Thanksgiving? Like, listen, I got it. I make a lot of money. So, I mean, I guess as an NFL player, I can't complain about nothing because I make so much money. Even though the little bit of individuality that I do have, which is bringing my family in and get to enjoy my personal people, my private people, and now you're trying to control that as well. It's just unacceptable. I know, to your point, like we was talking about this before the show. At some point, when do players start saying, you know what, man? When do they pull the Ben Simmons? And Ben Simmons for other reasons, but when do they say, you know what? Yeah, you can have that game check. I'm out of here. I'll be at the house. Y'all find me my game check, whatever, and we'll be at the house. Like you said, how would it be if we pull up to the Dallas and the Raiders? I think it's the Raiders and the Cowboys, and it's no Dak, it's no Zeke, it's no CD Lamb. I got Cooper Rush and Tony Pollard for you. Enjoy that. But will we watch it? Probably. But then when we realize they're not playing because of this additional Thanksgiving protocol, it will start making us as fans wonder, what's the point? You're messing up the product to keep hounding this process. I'm not saying COVID is not real. I'm not saying COVID is not killing people. But what I am saying, it seems like every company, every organization, even in the government, as soon as we hit a friction point, the answer is blanket everybody, make everybody do the same, and double up on the same program. That's not, what are we doing? That's not acceptable. When are we going to get back to this being a personal choice? Are we ever going to get back to this being a personal choice? Because this is just getting crazy. Okay, so you did testing, and it seems like your rates went up about maybe 20 to 25%. So now everybody got to do all this unnecessary stuff. Why did I go get vaccinated? I should have just flopped around here and pulled a so-and-so. I could have pulled an Aaron Rodgers. I might as well just did that because, at least he's not doing some unnecessary crap when he went out and did what he was supposed to do. He's in hot water for not doing what he's supposed to do. So now if he had to do all this is just what he should have been doing in the past. But if I'm a guy that did everything according to the NFL structure, what do I get? What is my benefit from all this? And I don't care for the fact that you're blaming people for doing what they gotta do just because you're scared that it's players out there that didn't do what they had to do. Or you're scared that family members are gonna come in. Listen, you're not gonna stop the human race. I don't know what's going on here, but these guys, every guy in that NFL locker room has a family. Whether that be a player, a staff member, a coach, the water boy, the ball boy, everybody got a family. Thanksgiving is a family holiday. Christmas is a family holiday. They're gonna meet their families. You can't control every single movement. Oh, we want to put cameras in. Oh, whatever, it's your organization. Put cameras wherever you want to. You're getting borderline invasion of privacy here, but who cares nowadays? Just do whatever you want to do. So I just don't like I said in the beginning. They're moving the goalposts. I don't appreciate that as just a normal American citizen. I know they don't appreciate that as athletes. At some point, where's the cap at? Where do we stop this nonsense?
And I think, just another point, a lot of times, and if you've been paying attention, to certain elected officials who have the most strictest of protocols for their city or their state or, what have you, they're generally the ones who are caught not following the rules. So then to that point, it almost is so the people that come up to this in the league office or wherever, think about the people who are reviewing the surveillance footage. You think some of this is remember after 9/11, you have the security state, and now we got the Patriot Act, and we got all these other things to make you safe. And now it's the same kind of thing, but it's just public health. Now we need security cameras everywhere just to make sure you didn't cough on someone, or just you had your face uncovered 10 seconds after you took that bite. What are you, a domestic terrorist? but the people that watch this footage at the league office, like and like, are making these policies. I wonder, are they like, I hope they're the most diligent, mask wearing, vaccinated, booster, social distance. I really hope they are just the pinnacle of COVID protocols. I really do. But the whole thing, you said what I was, the next thing I'm concerned about, because we're heading into that period of the year where it's not just Thanksgiving, it's other things that are coming up. You can see the old, you can tell that we're early around here with the old Christmas decorations. But this is almost, to me, it's just a pretext for that. They're going to have similar things. They'll do the same things for Christmas, for New Year's. It's almost like, what is even the point of, so what are we going to do? We're going to have Thanksgiving and then we're going to cut down. We're going to let everybody relax for a few weeks and then we're just going to turn up again on this. That'd be the question I'm asking if I'm a player. Like, so do I have to put up with this for like, Christmas and New Year's too? Like, I don't know, man. I think we're in agreement on this. I think it's a bit much, and I'm just, so on some levels, like I am disappointed with people. Like, I think there should be mass civil disobedience on this. Just like, oh, you want me to cover my face whenever I go out in public? I'm actually not going to do that. I don't think, and I'll go back to the most basic principle that I think this boils down to. You don't live in a free society if you have to walk around with your face covered. It's just true.